Hello, everyone. Okay. Hey. Just want to make sure everything's all set. Can you folks hear us? Okay, good. Okay, can start.
All right. I'd like to first off just welcome all of you to the Energy of Life healing process for relaxing your muscles, head to toe, really. And I am Aaron Singleton.
And I'm Claudia Sanchez.
And we hope that you have, watched some of the other episodes in the series that we've been doing, balance your chakras and align your spine, as well as the very basic first one, just connecting with the EOL process and developing that flow through your body. And of course, the more you do, the more connected you become, the easier it becomes, and you realize all the things that you can do with the Energy of Life process. So we're just here to expand on that a little bit with this episode of relaxing your muscles.
And if you folks have any questions, you can go ahead and type it in, or you can ask us if we have any particular questions.
Yeah, so specific tension questions, let's say about your neck, shoulders, back, anything of that nature. So we'd like to start with getting everyone to turn your palms up on your lap. And with your palms up, we will send the energy of life to your palms. Some of you that have been doing this all along with the other episodes, it's going to be very easy for you to just pull the energy in through your palms, up the arms, into the shoulders, the neck, the head, and then exhale it down through your body and out your feet. Those of you that are new to this, first timers, as we send the energy to your palms, you may feel some heat, some tingling, pulsing, something of that nature, pressure. That is the energy coming into your palms. And you too will inhale like your arms are straws and draw that energy up the arms into the shoulders, neck, head, and exhale it down through the body. Now, the whole process of just flowing the energy through the body relaxes you all by itself. As the energy washes over every cell, every muscle, it starts to move the energy that is stuck or blocked, or however we would describe that. For some of you that are new, you may feel like the energy is not going all the way through yet. That's okay. It can take a few moments, few minutes. Some people will feel the energy tingling going out their feet, even though they don't feel it all through their body. That is okay. The body will catch up, start to be more aware of it in other parts. And some of you won't feel it going out your feet initially, although you will feel it in the body in different areas. But that's okay. The goal is to get it going out your feet, and it will go there. Just some of you are more sensitive than others. So just stay, we're going to stay with this for a minute or two here, just to, again, just the basics of relaxing everything with the EOL process. Does it look like we have some very new people?
Yeah. I'm just a new setup. I'm not used to the way I see everything connecting. Not everybody's connected.
So the biggest thing here is to be aware of the sensations that are going through your body, where you're feeling them. And it's not something that you have to try so hard to do. It is something that you just allow. So as the energy comes in through the channels and chakras of the palms and the fingers, it flows up through the arms and shoulders, neck, all the way to the top of your head. It follows your breath and your intention. You inhale up and exhale down all the way through and out your feet. There is no particular breathing technique. I know some people have taken different breath work courses and things and want to know, well, is it this type of breath or that type of breath? And it's like, no, this is just breathe. If you can just take a nice deep inhale. Some of you may be more visual and visualize it flowing up the arms to the top of your head and exhaling it down through. You may visualize it all the way through your body and out. And for the rest of you, it will be feeling. And for some of you, it'll be just knowing that it's happening because you don't see it, you don't feel it, but your body starts to respond. Let's get ready to talk.
Good.
All right. So the great thing about the energy of life process is that it has consciousness. And that means that you can talk to it, you can guide it, you can tell it or request that it work on certain areas of the body, relax certain muscles. And with that capability, it is limitless in what it can do. So let's everyone start with your eyes. You've got 6 muscles that control your eyes, each eye. So muscles to control the movement left and right, to lift looking up or look down. That's 4. And then you've got 2 muscles that help to rotate or roll your eyes. Then you have all of the ocular muscles all around, the eyes that control your eyelids and eyebrows and everything around the bones. Uh, so if you would, ask the energy of life process to relax your muscles around the eyes. So as you inhale all the way like you're taking the energy to those muscles around the eyes. And you don't have to hold it there. It's just inhale, take it there, and exhale, and you're letting out the tension. And each continuing breath, you are taking the energy to that area around the eyes, directly the muscles that move the eyes when you're looking at things, but also the eyebrows and eyelids and everything that might have some stress and tension in it. Each continuing breath with your intention to take the energy to your eyes. And for most of you, it won't take more than a couple of breaths, and you will feel the muscles there start to relax. Whatever you have been doing, and a lot of driving, spending time on the computer, the phone, reading, whatever it is that has put stress in your eyes, well, those muscles are easy to relax with the EOL process. As we think back to the EOL 1 that we did, if we want to give it a number, and just basic understanding of how to get the energy going through the body. And then we went on into aligning the spine and the chakras and everything else. And it's like, maybe we should have relaxed the muscles back then in the beginning. But there's no time like right now to learn how to do this. So, and since we're right there with the eyes, go ahead and focus on bringing the energy into to the face, to your sinuses, to your cheeks, to your brow. It's like as you inhale, you pull the energy in, and almost like creating a mask to put on your face to relax your muscles. And it's just energy. Now, for many of you, tonight will be kind of like a meditation, just allowing us to guide you through. For most of you, though, I hope it is a learning experience that you can do this. So it's just bring the energy in through your hands, bring it to the parts of the body that you know you need some relief in. And we're going to go on through the neck and shoulders and spine as well. So as you bring the energy into your brow, your temples, your scalp, your cheeks, your jaw, you just inhale with the intention of bringing the energy there to relax the tissues, muscles, and you don't have to hold it there. Just bring it in and let it out. And you're letting out the stress and tension you're holding in those areas. Now, this is kind of an open, fun, hopefully, experience. We want you to feel free to ask questions, whether you want to type them in the chat or you want to just, say a few words about areas of your body that you are concerned with, and we will help you as far as guiding you. And of course, whatever we are helping you with will also help others. Sometimes the questions don't come so easily for people, but someone else's question will be exactly what they need to hear, and the answer also. Now, as the energy, again, as I said, coming into the face, start to take the energy into your throat and into your neck. And you can think of it like just bringing it in, like almost like a collar, and taking that tension and right on down through and out your body as you exhale.
We got a few folks saying things about my neck is really stiff, bowel movement, and psoriasis. Someone says I need help with neck sinus, severe allergy relief needed. Want me to go one at a time?
Down to the allergies. Sinuses. All right. So someone has asked about, the allergies and sinuses. So when you are drawing the energy in, think in terms of the muscles around the sinus areas. So when it comes to allergies, you have the cheek sinuses, of course. Then you get into nasal sinuses, and particularly between the eyes, you have the nasal bone and sinuses in there. You have the sinuses that are up in the forehead, frontal sinuses, and one that gets missed by a lot of people, and it's hard to get sprays and anything to, is your cranial sinus, which starts at about your hairline, goes all the way up to your crown, right between the two halves of the brain. And all you need to do is to focus on those areas. And inhale, draw the energy all the way into the area of the sinuses to relax them, and then exhale out. Now, it may be helpful for you to go online, look up the pictures of the sinuses, and go from that, because a lot of times the visual of knowing exactly, this is what it looks like, this is where I need to go, that can be very helpful. But beyond that, it's as simple as I just said. Inhale with the intention of taking the energy to the sinuses and relaxing them. And as you continue to do that, sinuses will open, they will drain. Now, we do, or I should say, we are supposed to drain about a quart of liquid out of our sinuses every day down the back of our throats. And it's usually so thin, so light that we don't even know it's there. That washes out our sinuses, keeps them nice and clean. And then sometimes we will have something that will, cause the fluid coming down out of the sinuses to thicken. So that will be inflammation, or you take a hit of something like a lot of grass and dust fumes and fumes and things that will actually irritate the sinuses, and they can be irritated for a long time. So long time sinus sufferers, there is a point, a place back in time where something happened that affected your sinuses in that way. And it doesn't matter if it happened when you were a child or a teenager and you're now 60 or 70, it doesn't matter. It's the same process. Inhale with the intention of taking the energy to your sinuses and relaxing them, and exhale that tension right on out. You may feel your sinuses start to open. All right. Another one.
Well, regarding the sinuses, they had a lift, and it seems like it started after that procedure. And then we have someone.
A lift?
Yeah. I don't know. Just they had a sinus lift.
Now, the other thing with sinuses, there might be some stress and tension in the sinuses from any type of medical procedures, minor surgeries, things of that nature. Even dental work, a lot of times, especially the upper, will cause a lot of, let's say, pressing on of crowns or doing root canals will cause tension in the upper jaw that will affect the sinuses.
Okay, so ready for the next one?
Yep.
So Candy, we have Candy who says her neck is really stiff.
All right. So as we hopefully have answered most of what you need about the sinuses, if not, you can send us something else in the chat. But as we move down from the face and sinuses and get into the neck can be a little different, a little tricky, but it can also be very simple. So if you've had any type of neck injury in the past, a little whiplash or something like that, that tension can be with you, 20, 30, 40 years later. There is also just the tightening of the neck as part of our defenses, let's say, from things that cause us frustration or anxiety. And we're holding our necks tight, sleeping that way, tensing up, and not even being aware that we are tensing. And again, you can ask the EOL process to relax the muscles of your neck. So because it has consciousness, we have learned that, and Claudia actually talks very freely with the EOL process, and you talk to it just like you're talking to a person, because it has a consciousness and it can answer you through your consciousness. So you either have a knowing or you literally will hear a voice talking to you. So take the energy to your throat, to your neck, whatever parts that are tight, and ask the EOL process to relax that tension, to get that out of there. It's all intention.
And for those of you who this is your first time coming on, this is a series of 6. I believe this is a sixth one. We're on YouTube, so you can go to our page at The Way to Balance and look at the other videos where we break it down from the beginning as to where the energy of life came from and what it's about and how it came to Aaron. And we do several videos of working on your chakras, how to communicate with your body. One that was for healing the COVID long haul and vaccine damage. So that's all on YouTube. And so we are going to be presenting more of these videos in the next, usually every 2 or 3 months. So the more that you use this energy, the stronger it actually gets. Initially, I didn't feel a thing, but I just trusted that it was there. And little by little, as I started developing, using it more and more, it's it's a powerful energy, but it's very gentle, and it's enhanced my intuition to the point where I can now communicate with consciousness. And we all have abilities that we can do all sorts of things, and that's one of them. And it'd be interesting to see what you have underneath, if you're not familiar with all the things that you're able to do. The energy of life is an energy that assists you with releasing physical tension, but also emotional energy that is in your body and in your mind and in your energy fields. So I just wanted to add that.
Okay. Now, for those of you, again, that let's say have things going on with your neck, also be aware that, if that's where you're holding emotionally, that when you are releasing in this way, you will, in many cases, have the emotions come up. So you will feel the sadness or the anger or the anxiety. And again, you just breathe it out. You use the same energy flow to connect with that emotion. If it's there, exhale it out. And usually it will just go right on down and out the feet, but sometimes you'll just feel it just come out like a fog lifting out of the body.
And for some people, it might be yawning or coughing, or you might cry, or you might itch. I mean, it could be all sorts of different ways how you start releasing. So just be open and not be afraid of when that's a good thing. So we have Vicky asking about bowel movement.
Okay. Well,
it's
we're
kind
gonna
of
work our way down.
Okay, relax. Okay, and then we have Nicole asking about psoriasis.
Same thing. Work our way.
Work our way down.
An intestinal.
Okay, so we'll get to that. Let's see here. Let's see what else. Someone wants to know if snoring affects the sinuses.
All right. So because we're up here in the sinus area and we're talking about opening things up, so snoring. Now, snoring can come from your diaphragm and pulling on the esophagus up into the throat, but not really associated with the sinuses unless you're all clogged up, because then you're breathing through your mouth usually, which will, in many cases, cause the snoring. So we're going to work our way on down through the body. And so as we're talking about the neck, we have to go out, of course, into the shoulders, and everything from your trapezius muscle out here to your shoulder, and as it comes up and ties into the base of the skull, how it goes down the back a little bit, and everything kind of pulls your head down and tight. Your shoulder blades, the inside edge of the shoulder blades closer to the spine, those muscles go from the top edge of the shoulder blade up to your C1, 2, 3, 4 vertebrae. And if you've been raising your shoulders, whether it's carrying a bag or work you do, or driving with your hand high on the steering wheel and you have to put your arm up, whatever the reason for your shoulder being tight like that, that of course is going to pull into your neck. Now, some of the things that you may not think of, but even carrying a child. So You may be well past that stage of life. Your children are already grown, but the carrying a baby on the hip and the weight, especially as they start getting bigger, the car seats are definitely not your friend because they put the weight of the child in the car seat away from the body, which means you pull on the neck and shoulder more. But just think in terms of things you may have done in the past. If you were ever a waiter or waitress, and all the extending and serving, that will have a lasting effect. So we can, again, guide the energy to those muscles in the neck and shoulders and across the back. And as you take the energy there with the intention of letting go, that energy can flow right on down and out your body. Now, it's already going up the arms, but if you have, if you have a lot of arm tension, again, from things that you may have done in the past or presently do, sometimes we need to redirect the energy to bring that down and out the hands rather than take it all the way through the body. And once the energy is going through in this way, you can guide it in any direction that you feel that it needs to go. Now, as we work our way on down, think of all of your back muscles and along the spine, if that's where your tension is. And just, again, inhale like you're inhaling to that area between your shoulder blades or farther down your spine. If it's your lower back, you inhale like you're taking the energy there. All right. And breathe out whatever the tension pattern is. As we are going down the back, of course, we don't want to leave out the front. So we can have a lot of tension in the pec muscles, the chest, for, again, from something that you're doing and may not even be aware of it, but you have tightened up the pec muscles, which attach to the shoulder and have a lot more to do with the tension that you're feeling. I've had a lot of people in the past tell me, oh, I have chest pain, and they're concerned about their heart. And it's not the heart, it's how they have tightened up the muscles, and it's right there over the heart because that's where the pec is, our pecs. All right. Now, of course, as we go down the front of the body, we have the throat, the esophagus, and the diaphragm right under the rib cage. So everyone take 2 or 3 really good breaths into your diaphragm with the intention of taking the energy there and releasing that stress and tension out of the diaphragm. The diaphragm, I always say, is the catch-all, because any type of stress and tension, pain, whatever's going on physically or emotionally, the diaphragm has this unique way, if you will, of catching it and tightening up as a result of it. And so we put our fear, our anger, sadness, guilt, everything goes into the diaphragm. And if we strain and hold our breath, because, ideally we want to keep breathing no matter what we're doing. But if we somehow lock up and don't breathe in the moment, we put pain there if we hurt ourselves. And our tendency is, when we're in pain, is to not breathe. But if we can keep breathing, then we won't lock the pain in the body. And that goes for the emotional pain as well. All right, so we go on down into the abdomen, and again, thinking about, all the way around, not just the abdomen and the rib cage and the diaphragm now, but as we get into the intestines, we get into the small intestines, the colon, is the same thing if there is tension. So the intestines, they have kind of a squeezing effect, like you were taking a hose that was light, and you're squeezed by, and just kind of squeezing things on through. So that can be affected mostly by emotion. So we put a lot of emotional energy into the intestines. So if you think of any time in your life where you've had a nervous stomach and the nerves are just, dancing all around, couldn't eat, may not be able to sleep. And that was 20, 30 years ago. Well, some of that tension may still be there. Take the energy there and breathe that out. So we use the energy to come in and awaken that and exhale that stress out. So again, we're getting more into the emotional part of how the EOL can help with those muscles now than the physical, because the back and the neck and the shoulders, even though there may be varied emotions there, typically we're looking at physical strain. All right, so with each breath, inhale and all the way up to the top, exhaling all the way down through the areas of tension that we've already been addressing. So again, with the intestines, this is everything from your ability to digest in the small intestine to problems you may have in the colon, as far as irregularities, whether you have been constipated or have diarrhea. There's still going to be stress that is causing that. So the anxiety that you put there in your abdomen, breathe it out, let it go. And then you work your way on down into your pelvis and to your very lower back, your sacrum, tailbone, into your buttocks and hips. And again, first looking at if you have physical tension, strain, you work out too much at the gym and you just need to get those deeper muscles relaxed. You just inhale all the way up and down, and as you're breathing through, think of the energy going through you kind of like a flow of air or flow of water, just washing over everything, because the energy of life does exactly that, washes over every cell in the body and takes the tension out. Now, with the pelvis, we are talking about the whole pelvis, everything. The pelvis is shaped like a bowl. All right. And on the front, let's say the pubic bone, we have a muscle that attaches there, goes down around the genital area, the rectum, and then attaches to the tailbone. That's the iliococcygeal muscle. And that is literally the pelvic, at the bottom of the pelvis, like the pelvic floor, part of the pelvic floor. So you can inhale into the bowl, into the pelvic bowl. And when you inhale deep, it's almost like it expands and contracts with each breath. Bring the energy in with that intention of releasing that tension, letting it flow right on down and out your feet. And now for any of you that have had labor, especially long labor, hard labor, and all of the contractions that go with that, a lot of times there's still tension there years after that hard labor or long labor. For those of you that may have had C-sections, there is potential for tension to still be there because of the healing that was needed after the incision and the scar tissue and everything. So again, take your thoughts and your intention to that area, and also any other surgeries that you may have had. There may be scar tissue and tension associated with that. And then, of course, you take that all the way down, not only to the pelvis, but now you're going down into the hips and the thighs and all the way down into the legs. And as I mentioned earlier, for any of you that have been a waiter or a waitress, been on your feet a lot, or a nurse, or any type of job on the floor, and when you were younger, maybe worked in a department store, or just on your feet around the house all the time, taking care of things. It's all energy. We call it tension, but it's energy that has gotten stagnant, and we're using the energy of life healing process to release that energy everything all the way down and out your feet. Now, some of you may have had a few muscles that kind of twitched or spasmed and released, but let us know what you're experiencing right now, or have experienced as we've been going through the body. And again, questions, because it's hard to cover everything, but if we can help you with some specific things, we will try to do that.
I do have a few questions, but they're a little bit different related in terms of sleep. Would that work now or later?
No, we can't do
Later,
that.
maybe after.
Yeah, so for some of you that are asking about sleep and other things, that is not really going to fit in too well with what we're doing with muscles. If it's a sleep issue, it's more likely going to be an anxiety or something like that that keeps you awake. Or a frustration to do with work or something. But again, you can use the energy of life process to move the energy out that is keeping you awake.
Or to bring things back into balance.
Mm-hmm. All right, so any questions as we're moving the energy here?
Let's see. Does the EOL protect, help release trauma as well as pain?
Okay, so the EOL for releasing trauma and pain, the EOL can release all of these things: trauma, pain, shock. It is what Claudia and I use on a daily basis. Claudia does a lot of work with animals, healing pets for people. So she gets to use it for releasing trauma and shock and pain from the animals and realigning their spines. Um, and that is what I do on a daily basis at the office as well. Pretty much anything that goes on in the body or your energy fields, anything at all, we are able to use the EOL process for that. That's why we're doing this series, to kind of teach you a little bit about what you can do.
Okay, Nicole says she's tingling all over. She has some eye straining.
Okay, so tingling all over. So remember, as the energy is going through, it's not only your muscles, but it's all of your fascia. So deeper layers of tension. So it can, for someone, let's say with fibromyalgia, um, that means that your not only your muscles, but and your muscles may not be the problem. It might be just the fascia. So underneath your skin, there is fascia that covers every muscle, and then within every muscle, there are groups of muscles, fascia around all of those, fascia connecting muscle to bone. So as the tension is coming out, you can have a whole body experience of tingling or other sensations, even discomfort.
So we got Esther says she had something twitch on her left side. It was a pain that traveled vertically.
Okay, so yes, the twitching like that, like I said, it's one of those things, don't be concerned about it, but just be aware of it, because as things release, sometimes it's like someone, snapped a rubber band, and a line of stress, physical tension, just took off, just released. So that's a very good thing.
Yes, and Charlene says it's going into her body. As she breathes, it helps her release pain and tension. That's great.
Okay, so, and again, releasing pain and tension. If the muscles are tight, they're going to hold on to the pain. And what do we typically do? We tighten up around pain. So we're hopefully going to be helping you realize that, okay, if I breathe and relax and just allow, then that area will actually release, and then the pain can get less and less and totally disappear.
So now I have a question from Anne Marie that more directed into how to guide the energy of life. It says, do you ask the EOL to be healed as you breathe in your hands up to your head or on the way down? I've been trying that for a couple of weeks now, and I haven't noticed change.
Okay, so I guess the best thing here, first off, is not to overthink how to do it. So there is no let's say, protocol. As you're inhaling in, you have the intention to take it to where you need it and inhale it into, let's say, the right shoulder because that's where the pain is, and then exhale it down and out. And in that process, you can also ask the EOL process to release the tension that you're feeling there. All right. So this is a very flexible process that you can ask any way. And as long as you have the intention and talking to the consciousness of the EOL, it will get there and it will start the work. So we want to.
I also like to tell the energy of life to do what is for the highest good because it knows. A lot of times you don't want to overdo something. You know, you want to let's say you're releasing an emotion, and if you don't give it the instruction to do what's for your highest good, it has the consciousness to know to stop. So it doesn't put you in a healing crisis. But about 2 hours ago, I had some shoulder pain, leg pain, and the energy of life has the ability to. It's a little strange, but it actually has the ability to shake me and shake people once you've been working on it, as if somebody's actually physically there and kind of giving you a good massage. My body actually will twitch in the areas that I'm asking for it to help heal, and literally I will jump out of the bed. I mean, not like tremendously, but enough so that my whole body is getting um, a good energetic massage. And the more you do it, it will start doing things like that if that's what you're looking for. Someone also said asked, so you breathe into the pain is a question.
Okay. Yeah. So breathing into the pain is another way of looking at it. You don't always have to do that. This is about taking the energy into the body, period. And as Claudia just said, if you just have it in your consciousness to allow the EOL process to release the cause of the pain would be the way, so that you don't have to be so specific. You don't have to be so in your head and overthinking, because if you're too in your head and overthinking, you will overthink the process and probably won't get things accomplished in the way that you would like to. So if I'm having, let's say, mid-back pain because I overworked in the yard picking up some granite boulders and moving things, then I would just use the EOL process to bring it in with the intention of relaxing my back. Nothing specific, just relax my back muscles that are tight and exhale that tension then out. Okay. So you can be very specific, but you can be very broad, because if you don't know your anatomy, you don't have to know your anatomy. That's the whole key here. This is just about moving energy.
So number 4 video, the fourth one, which is learning how to talk to your body, would really be helpful. Also to answer this question from Anne Marie about when the tinkling stops, is the EOL stopping? Do you need to breathe again and again to reactivate? So first, it's good to get a sense of asking your body what a yes and no is. So everyone hears it differently, feels it differently, has a knowing, and you want to know what that yes is like for you and a no, so that when you want to ask the EOL, you can actually go to the energy of life and say, energy of life, show me what a no and what a yes is like for me and how we can communicate. And then I think Erin can answer this question regarding do you need to breathe again and again to reactivate?
Okay. So once you've activated the energy of life through the body, you can sit back and just breathe normally. So it's not like you have to take a deep breath every time around or be conscious of every breath that you're taking. It's like you do that just to get everything going. And then you can sit back in a meditative way and check in every now and then. And if you feel that, oh, I want to take a deep breath and just make sure that it's moving, that's fine. But it will keep it will keep going as long as you are willing to sit there and work with it, or lay there and work with it. Um, so yes, you can be in the EOL process and working for 15 minutes or an hour and a half, whatever it is that you have time for.
Another thing is, if you're having trouble having it flow, one of the things you can ask for the EOL is to remove, for the highest good, to remove the blockages that's keeping you from feeling. But you definitely want to say for the highest good, because the blockages could be something simple or something deep. And so it knows exactly when to stop. And then as long as you keep on doing that, okay, for the highest good, EOL, remove the blockage that's keeping me from feeling the flow, or it will already know how to do that for you. And little by little, if you stick with it a little bit every day, you'll be amazed as to the potential of what the EOL can do. I actually took Aaron's class like years ago, didn't use it for 3 years, and then all of a sudden when I got really sick, I was like, okay, here we go. So I started using it every day, and I was like, oh my God, this energy is absolutely amazing. It could do so much. So yeah, so I really love it. It's beautiful energy.
Yeah. So for those of you that are feeling some release or relief somewhere, I think it would be really helpful for some of those that are not feeling or not quite as aware to hear from you. So we'd love to hear some comments, because you'll be helping these other people that may be new to the process.
We got Marnie saying, so thankful, virtually all tension and pain up back to pineal gone. Awesome, relaxing all of me. Great to hear it, Marnie. Thank you. Let's see, we have Vicky. Vicky has pain in her upper right back shoulder and neck that seems stuck. Is this out of alignment? Vicky Kraus.
Okay. All right, Vicky, you are actually holding some sadness there. So again, direct the energy of life process there and have the intention of letting go of the sadness.
Let's see, we got Margot. Has anyone experienced relief from insomnia with the EOL that you know of?
Okay, as far as releasing the insomnia, insomnia is for the most part totally emotional. So it would be to use the EOL process to release the emotion that is blocking your sleep or not allowing you to sleep.
Okay, Mark also said that her SI joints feel better right now. Awesome, thank
Okay,
you.
SI joints better. That's always a good thing.
And I feel a lot of relief from her SI joint pain. Okay, great. Thank you, Margot. Okay. And we got 10 minutes over there.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Okay, so as I said earlier, when we went through the pelvic floor and just with the flow going down the legs, how many of you are feeling lighter? Not just, not just areas, but your whole body feeling lighter because it's releasing stress and tension from every place, head to toe.
Oh, good. I see some hands. I could see a portion of you, and then I gotta go to the next. All right, cool. That's quite a few.
Yeah.
That's good. All right.
Kind of hard to hear that hand, but
No, it
we
works.
got you.
It works. It works. That's good. As long as you folks are happy. That's awesome.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah. So I mean, when you let tension out, you feel lighter. So just think of it, you could have this lighter feeling every day. Sit down 20 minutes at the end of your day or before you go to sleep, just lay there, run the energy through the body and take all your stress and tension out.
Oh, and also just to be aware that your temperature might change. It might get really hot, really cold in a matter of a moment. It's different for everyone. Some people don't experience any of this, but this is just to let you know everything's fine. Usually it's just a release. Um, so for those of you who already had menopause, you're not gonna have to go through it again. So it's just energy. Just let it flow. Okay, so we have, let's see, Nicole, lots of energy up and down spine. Oh, that's great. That means you need it in that area. That's good. Oh, another thing that I like to tell the EOL is I sometimes when I go to bed, I just ask for it to give me an energetic massage, whatever, wherever for my highest good. So that's kind of fun, especially once you've been doing it for a while and you really are starting to feel it. It's it'll just put you to sleep. It's really relaxing. Um, so Esther says she uses it. Oh, good EUL at night, and sometimes she falls asleep. Ah, I just read that. Is there something? See, something to do when you end your session? No, you don't have to.
No, the energy of life will just, slowly dissipate. So if you go to sleep, don't worry about it. It's done its job if it's helped get you to sleep.
And it's so gentle, you can use it literally 3 times a day or more, as long as you as long as you say for my highest good. Because when you're working on the physical, it's different from working on the emotional. So if you've been doing a lot of emotional release, um, and you got to take a break, it's different when you're doing, usually it's different when you're doing it physical, as long as there isn't um, too much emotion stuck in that area, if that makes sense. Um, so, I mean, I could use it like 5 times a day and just, you know, for all sorts of things. Okay, so Anne Marie says she feels tremendous relief already in her neck, sinuses, and body. Awesome. I
Great.
will follow the recommendations given to me tonight regarding working with EOL. Awesome. I didn't realize you were on YouTube. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, this is I believe our sixth one.
Yes.
And we were guided to give all this to you folks because this truly is unbelievable energy to not only to expand your intuition, but to self-heal in ways that, this the second one is awesome. I mean, you'll feel like your bones moving if you can sense when you're bringing your spine into alignment or you're decompressing. If you've been sitting down all day, you can decompress your body, and it's really beautiful to be able to heal yourself, make yourself feel more comfortable and not have to feel so much pain.
So even for those of you that, let's say, are going to continue with the EOL process tonight after we get offline here, you know, you can go sit in your favorite chair or you can lay back in bed and just continue with the EOL process for another 15 minutes or another hour and a half. It really is up to you. If you're having good success right now with releasing the tension, why not do another hour? Okay. It's really about the amount of time that you want to spend with it. But also knowing that you can do this every day. And you can watch this video over and over as a reminder if you need to. But usually by the time you've watched these videos uh, one time each, because we're using the process in each of them. So it's reinforcing the whole concept of using the energy of life process to do the work, to balance your chakras, to align your spine, or to relax your muscles.
So the first one would be helpful, just to get you started if this is your first time. But it's as simple as just saying, I activate the energy of life healing process. Because once you experience it, there is no symbols like some of the other prana energies. You don't need to have a symbol. It's just the intention. We send it to you, and it's already a part of you. And if you watch the first video, you'll feel it more come through you until you are able to, on your own, just bring it in to that level that you can sense it. Okay, so Charlene, she says, thank you. Sinuses are clear. Awesome.
Great.
Um, okay, very cool. Okay, someone's saying that they gain a little weight around the middle, maybe digestive, very uncomfortable. That's Candy.
Okay. So of course, if you're gaining weight around the middle, it's, it can be a number of things. One of the things that, it may be is hormones, and you can direct the energy of life to balance your thyroid, your pituitary, your hippocampus, your hypothalamus, um, your pancreas, if there's a problem with pancreatic enzymes and things of that nature, because they help break down the sugars, the starches, your liver. You can direct and I guess we'll make a video about that. You can direct the energy of life to each of the organs and glands, but also the combinations like your pituitary, hippocampus, thyroid. It's kind of a triangulation, and those three need to all work together to then send the signals from your thyroid to your digestive system, to your pancreas, things like that. But
Okay,
it's
so
that easy.
thank you. So, okay, so Andrea says she's feeling more relaxed, focused when she's at work. She also goes into meditation. Awesome. Thank you, Andrea. Let's see. Margot says, can the EOL heal an overworked and strained voice from singing too much, too high?
Okay, yes, you can. So healing the voice. Now, I actually worked on a musician from out in Western Mass, and not only did his singing voice improve, but his guitar playing improved and everything, because we worked on, the tension patterns through his body, and even the tension pattern that was in his bioplasmic field that was affecting his playing. But if you think of the vocal cords and things through the throat, it's all tissue. It's muscles connected to other things, but you're really talking about taking the OL process there and relaxing those throat muscles that are working with your vocal cords. So yes, you can improve your voice.
Okay, it's a minute to 9. So we're at the end. Is there anything else that you wanted to share?
We are going to be wrapping up here in a moment. We are happy to answer questions, though. We don't have to end right at the 9 o'clock mark. So we're here for you. So
Yep.
questions.
And for those of you who are heading out now, we are going to be putting this video, as we said, on YouTube. But we also want to let you know that what we do is we do a lot of also group healings and classes based on the energy of life healing process. So we will be doing a absentia remote group healing, which we do every month on usually either Saturday or Sunday, and it's at the comforts of your own home. So you don't have to be on Zoom, but we are starting to do an actual Zoom with questions and answers once a month, and we have one coming up. I believe it's on the 30th. So check that out. That's where you can. We give all sorts of different types of healing, but we also answer all sorts of different types of questions.
Yes, so that one will be any health questions that you have at all. We will try to answer.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Kenny. We appreciate it. Um, thank you, Susan. And we'll be having other classes coming up. We are planning to have a women's class, and we are thinking about having a men's class too later in the year. Trying to think. And we every month we do a long, let's see, long haul COVID damage and vaccine damage, which also is remote absentia, where you don't have to be present. Okay, let's see if anybody has any questions. We can go back to that other question. You're welcome. Thank you. I want to say thank you.
So anyone else, how are you feeling before you sign off? What do you have to say for yourself and your body in the EOL process?
Oh, we do have, let's see. I did have someone who had a question. Oh, I lost it. Sorry. You're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Candy still on?
I think Candy's still on.
All right. So I want to go back and take that a little bit farther, Candy, when you're talking about the weight gain. So we have a new formula that we created for balancing those glands, but the other thing is that a lot of times the energy is something that is in your energy field, so your bioplasmic field around the body. But when you're asking the energy of life, you can ask the energy of life to um, resolve, let's say, that issue, and you don't know where the energy is going. So that is another approach to say, energy of life, do what's for my highest good to help, help me lose this weight, or help show me where it's coming from or the cause of it. Because it may be, you know, if your diet is good and you're walking or you're exercising, then the next thing, of course, is going to be glands, but there can also be some emotional energy that you're holding that is creating that, and you can find that out just by asking the EOL process to show you.
Candy wants to know if we do classes in person.
We do have some classes in person in the schedule.
We have like one, but we'll be having more. And Aaron and I also do one-to-one sessions, either on the phone or at the office. Let's see. Okay, we do have some questions here. Okay, so Esther's saying she's feeling relaxed in the sinus neck. Let's see, and I have energy sitting in the lower belly, maybe grief. She wants to know if that's grief.
Anger. So that is actually some anger and frustration in the lower belly. There is some, so if I had to look at it and separate it out, I'd say 60-70% anger, frustration, and then the remainder of it is grief. But again, you can breathe into it, ask the EOL process to help you release that. And remember, it's just energy, so it will flow right on out your feet.
So Nicole wants to know, she just got the female hormone drops, and she wants to know if 1 drop a day is enough for her.
So Nicole, for you, yes, 1 drop a day is enough to start with. We can always tune in after you've been doing that for a while and see if you need to, take that up to 2 drops. But
No, but how many times a day? Once a
just
day?
1 drop once a day for now.
Okay. I got 3 drops. I guess I got some issues. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I just want to say to be careful what you ask for because it will do what you ask. Oh, Margot. Yes. Thank you, Margot.
Sometimes when you're asking the OL process to do what you really need done, you're not fully prepared for the level of emotions that may start coming up, things that you have suppressed and or thought that you had healed, because anything that is old, emotional hurt for any reason will start to surface.
Yeah. Then you feel better the next day because you let it all go. So let's see. Oh, okay, that's a good one. I spit up, this is Emery. I spit up a lot of mucus every day. Will this decrease with a regular practicing of the EOL for sinus relief, or is that a separate issue? Well, that can also be diet.
Okay. So if you're spitting up mucus, yes, you can ask the EOL to um, let's say, balance whatever is going on in your body that's creating the mucus. You can ask it to show you. So you can, let's say if you do it and you kind of go into a meditative space as you're going off to sleep, you might even have a vision or a dream, and it will actually show you what it is and show you how to resolve it. So it's very versatile in that way. But as Claudia was saying, the first thing with mucus and things is there something in the diet? And a lot of times it's, we have great diets, but there can be that one thing that we're not as aware of. So keep that in mind.
So that could be anywhere from pasta, sugar, And I had this problem too, and then I went to an acupuncturist back in San Francisco, and I mean, pretty much everything I was eating bread and let's see what else. I was having almond milk at the time. That was also mucusy. Um, and then in the Asian theory is that if you have too many things that are heating, like way too much like red meat, that's energy that turns into mucus. If you want to get into that, that's another theory. But yeah, sugar is also a good one to cut down on.
Yeah, sugar is a good one for producing mucus.
Thank you for that. That's a good question. It's a good one. Let's see. Thank you very much. We really enjoyed it. Oh, that's great. Thank you. Like that, Claude. Claude Saint On. I love your name. That's awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it, really. Let's see. Do you have a video on food choices?
Food choices.
That's a good idea.
That's a good one. That is that can be very complex because I like to look at Dr. Rivici and his method of looking at what you need for your cycles, meaning that from 4:30 in the morning to 4:30 in the afternoon is your detox cycle. We typically get up in the morning and we have some extra trips to the bathroom. And so we do our cleansing over, from that time in the morning, and the body is eliminating. And then from 4:30 in the afternoon till 4 or 4:30 in the morning, we are building. We're in a anabolic state. So the morning cycle is called a catabolic state, where we get rid of toxins and everything. Our body's flush. And then we go into the cell rebuilding state, the anabolic state in the evening and through to the early morning. So we can eat to support the cycle that we're in. Um, I thought about doing something with that years ago, and it got complicated. So a lot of the things that we would not think of eating for breakfast or at lunchtime, because we consider it a dinner food, but it actually supports the catabolic state and helps us detox. But even the way you fix your eggs in the morning can help you with let's say a soft egg in the morning will, poached egg or something like that will support your cycle, but actually a fried egg at night will actually support the the anabolic cycle. So it's like how you prepare your food. So it gets a little complicated.
But that's why it's really important to use the energy of life so that your intuition gets really sharp and you can start asking these questions. I didn't believe that it was possible. He said that it was going to happen, and all of a sudden I'm able to communicate with consciousness. So everyone has the ability to have unbelievable intuition. And you just need to remove the things that are blocking your intuition, which is emotion. Now we got man-made frequencies. So the more that you use the energy of life to improve your intuition, you can go to a supermarket and either feel the energy or have a knowing of whether that's something that you need to eat. You just lay out the question, okay, is this for my highest good? Or we like to do a number. We use a little bit of a structure where we go from 1 to 10, 10 being good, 1 not being so great. Okay, here's a carrot. Where is this carrot? We kind of hear, oh, okay, this is a 6. Okay, we'll do some energy work on it to improve it. If it's an 8, 10, then you know it's good. So that's another method that you can use. But you definitely need to get into touch with the food, and with yourself to know what truth is. So that's really important. And that is why the energy of life is so important, is to really bring you back to your powerful intuition that really can direct you in every facet of your life.
Yeah, so for some of you that may have breakfast shakes and protein shakes or things in the morning, a lot of times when you use the OL process and you ask your body, is it for your highest good to have this? You'll get no, that you actually need some real solid food. So it can cause you to really change your diet around, because your typical lunch, let's say a salad with a little bit of protein, and you ask, and it's like, no, this is not for your highest good today. So that is really getting in touch with your body, but you have to be willing to change.
Okay, Esther has a question. When you do the EOL, do you continue to breathe every breath from palm to head or feet? Sometimes I forget to keep paying attention to the breath pattern. You don't have to do any of that. You could just relax and just give it the instruction and that's it. It's just the initial. It's just to kind of start it out to get you going and then to feel and then you start feeling the flow and then let it go. Then just trust that it's doing what it's doing.
Right. And if you feel that you need to check in and, kind of reset the breath, you can do that. But again, if you're going into a meditation, you don't break your meditation and say, oh, I have to breathe a certain way. It's like you just start and you just breathe and you relax and allow.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. We have a few. If you want to take a few more.
Sure.
All right, we'll try. Okay, let's see. Let me just see. Okay, Emery, it seems to start with a cough clearing, and then I get the mucus balls, then it passes for hours, and still returns. This happens even when I don't eat or drink.
Okay, but again, the main thing here is to ask your body, use the YOLO process to show you or to ask your body, what is it that's causing that?
Yes, Nell. Okay, so then Nell says she feels very sleepy. That is very important. Sometimes the emotion will put you to sleep. Sometimes it's the energy of life, and sometimes it's the emotion that doesn't want you to release it because the emotions actually have consciousness as well. That's why we do things where we regret later because it wasn't really you, it was the emotions making those decisions, which has gotten me into a lot of trouble throughout my life. And I didn't know it was emotion, but now I know. So yeah, so when you get that really sleepiness, just work through it and and let go of if you can with the EOL. So don't let it control, don't let those emotions control you. All right, so we're almost done. How do you spell that doctor's name? Oh, Ravici.
Revici, Revici, Dr. Emmanuel Revici. He actually owned the Trafalgar Hospital in New York City for 25 years. He cured people of metastasized brain and bone cancer and a whole lot of other things. And he was kind of ostracized because he wasn't using uh, medicine that, you know, was popular. He did not use chemo and radiation to cure his cancer patients. He used the table of elements, and so I've only read one book about him. Kelly Item uh, wrote a book about him, and Ravici actually cured 3,000 heroin and methadone addicts with a single treatment. There's a lot of little things like that that are on record about him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's an interesting guy. Okay, Kenny wants to know if we have a class helping remove blockages and tune into our intuition. Good, great question.
Well, we will have to just do one of those for you and for everyone else
But you
right
really,
here.
and you do want to do the videos that Aaron has of releasing the emotions. Just kind of feel what's the one that you need to release: fear, anger, sadness, or guilt. And he does the Tibetan bowls with the actual numbers. And for those of you who don't know, Aaron is fantastic at getting code, so a certain type of code, so that your what he calls biomorphic geometry and creating some amazing tools so that your DNA can actually read the code and know what to do within your energy fields and your body so that it can heal. And that's something you can take a look. He's got these great videos. He even shows one of his first ones, which is the balance card, which is absolutely phenomenal. It can do so many things that we're still learning as to some of the things that it can do. And we're actually working in working with the DNA, with your DNA, and that's going to be coming out soon, where you can actually heal your body with that balance card and with your DNA, which would be hair or something like that, and do some reverse aging. And that is something that we have been experimenting with, and I'm actually experiencing how it's beginning to heal my teeth. And yeah, so there's more to there's so much more. There's so many unbelievable things that we're discovering that we're definitely going to be sharing.
Yes.
And hopefully you'll stick with us. And if you're not signed up to the newsletter, sign up. Just so that you know what to keep track of what we're up to. Let's see. And I think we're still got a few more questions. I use two balance cards every day. Awesome. Been feeling a little dizzy lately. That's Candy.
Okay. No, Alice is misaligned. All right, so Candy, your atlas is a little bit of misaligned at some of the dizziness. So that is one of the things too with the if you're sitting up straight and just ask the energy of life to realign your spine. And we have that whole video on that it can put your atlas back in, get rid of dizziness, get rid of headaches, whatever, and give that a try.
Emery says she never eats breakfast. Sometimes she doesn't eat all day. Would you say that is a habit I should break?
Well, your body needs the fuel. And sure, you can go all day without eating. I have done some fasting where I have done as much as 2 weeks, full 14 days with no food. It's not for everyone, but to to get up and just not eat anything, not put any fuel in the body, it does take its toll on the body because your body has certain cycles, and if you're not putting at least a little something in there, then your body will start to change and ignore the cycles that are the healthy cycles that it's supposed to have. So yes, a little something would be good for you at 3 times a day, 2 times a day at least.
The YouTube channel, just do the way to balance on YouTube and then say Aaron, and then you'll see Aaron's face, and then click and then subscribe and click on the videos, and you'll see all the videos. The first video that we did was exactly about 1 year ago. It doesn't say part 1, it just says the energy of life healing process, and that is the one you want to check out if you're new here. Okay, you're welcome. All right, I think that's it. All right, folks, thank you for hanging out. We really appreciate you all, and hopefully we'll see you in the future. Oh, I found okay. All right, this was Nell. All right, now she says I don't want to eat. Oh, sorry. You're welcome. Thank you. We have
All right, good night.
Good night. We will answer more questions. If you guys will check us out on the 30th, we can do a lot more questions and answers. And we'll be doing some expos coming up in Connecticut. We're going to be in Newmarket. Let's see, Newmarket this Saturday.
That's Newmarket, New Hampshire.
Newmarket, New Hampshire. We'll be in Saratoga, New York in a couple of weeks. And we'll be in Syracuse, New York next week. All right, folks. Thank you so much. Lots of love.
Guys.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much.